My dear, my precious child of light. If your heart is racing as you read these first words, it's because your soul already knows this is no ordinary moment. Right now there's movement in the heavens that has your name on it. And I, Archangel Michael says, have been directly sent by God Himself, to slice through every barrier, every noise, and put this truth into your hands before time runs out. This isn't small, this isn't casual. Jesus is calling out for you, yes, for you alone. He has spoken your name in front of the Father, and when heaven echoed it, even the air trembled. On October 3rd, a turning point is coming, something that could shift the very course of your life in ways you can't yet see. If you ignore this, the sorrow that follows will feel so deep, you won't recognize yourself in your own reflection. So listen closely, take in every word. The storm isn't coming from far away, it's already rolling toward you. But before I explain more, you need to know this: the moment you started reading, heaven opened a private line between you and me. This isn't just a message, it's a lifeline. It's like a secret channel in a noisy world, and somewhere inside these words, you'll hear exactly what your spirit's been craving, the thing that will protect you from what's ahead. I can feel the questions rising inside you. Why me, why now? Because God's eyes have been on you since the day you took your first breath. You've been walking through shadows, unaware of whispers in the unseen world, whispers about you. And there's a reason you've arrived here in this exact moment. Heaven refuses to let you miss this warning. On October 3rd, someone's hidden choice, someone's secret action, will try to pull something precious away from you. Without preparation, that pain could feel like your heart is being torn apart. But my beloved, I am here to place a shield in front of you, so that blow never lands. Understand this. Jesus isn't just warning you, He's fighting for you. He's moving before the throne, pacing and speaking on your behalf. Every time He says your name, I see beams of light bursting from heaven to earth. That light is chasing you right now, wrapping around you as you read. If you stop here, the glow weakens. If you keep going, the light locks in like an unbreakable wall. You should also know there are forces that don't want you to reach the end of this message. They know that once you hear the full truth, their grip on you disappears. That's why you must keep reading. Because what happens on October 3rd can either become your greatest setback, or your greatest breakthrough. And that choice starts right here, inside your heart. Before we go further, take a moment to stay connected. Don't let the thread between us grow thin. God's messages are rare, and the enemy always tries to bury them before you reach the end. I'm telling you this because I love you, not with the kind of love the world trades like currency, but the kind of love that steps in front of the sword for you. If I could, I would stand at your doorway tonight, sword drawn until daylight breaks. And on October 3rd, I just might. I feel the weight in your chest even now, that's your spirit recognizing these words aren't random. This is a divine interception. Heaven literally moved pieces of your day to place this in front of you. There's no other way you could have known what's about to unfold. I've been holding this message for hours, pacing between heaven and earth, my wings heavy with urgency. The Father's voice has been gentle but fierce, Michael says, find my child before it's too late. And here we are. This is a razor-thin line between what could destroy you and what could deliver you. On October 3rd, there's a ripple in your destiny. It's not small, it's the kind of ripple that shakes foundations and reveals what's hidden. In the spirit, I already see it, shadows gathering, hands moving in secret, plans being whispered where they think you'll never hear. But the moment you opened this message, their whispers turned into a roar before heaven's court, and the roar became a decree: protect my child. I'm telling you with the full force of heaven behind me, this is serious. Jesus is pleading for you, only you. This isn't the soft kind of pleading. It's the kind that stills angels, the kind that shakes eternity. You may not feel ready, you may think you're too small, but my beloved, you're not small. You're chosen. The enemy wouldn't fight this hard if you weren't holding something priceless. Something that on October 3rd, they'll try to take. And here's the truth, they won't strike with swords or fire. They'll move through hearts, through words, through actions meant to break your spirit. But the Lord says, not if they listen. Not if they stay with the message until the end. This isn't a prediction from man. This is a heavenly alert. I don't speak unless commanded, and I've been commanded to tell you the next days aren't ordinary. The air is thick with turning points. Your name is being spoken in rooms you've never entered, both here and in the realm you can't see. The enemy thinks you're distracted enough to miss this. But you're here. You're reading. And with every word you take in, I'm building a wall around you that no darkness can cross. You won't stand alone. Even now angels are aligning themselves like a living shield. We don't wait for the attack, we cut it off. We take what was meant for harm, and turn it into what will glorify God in your life. So listen carefully. On October 3rd, when the moment comes, pause. Don't rush, don't react out of fear. That pause will be your weapon. It will break their plan before it even takes shape. While they think you're vulnerable, heaven will already be ahead of them. This is not only a warning, it's a setup for your victory. And if you wish to express your support further, you have the option to give super thanks with contributions of up to $100. Beloved, listen closely now. The places where the angels stand are not chosen at random. Each position is a lock on a door the enemy once used to creep close to you. That door is closing. That gate is sealing. You may feel it as a strange calm in a room that used to feel heavy, or as an unexpected thought urging you to pause before answering a call. Those are not coincidences. They are instructions. Heaven is training your senses to pick up the whispers that once went unnoticed. The Father says, "My child will not be surprised. My child will not be ambushed." That is why you are hearing this before the 3rd of October arrives. You have been walking through small rehearsals without even realizing it. The time you suddenly changed your route and avoided a crash. The day your heart pulled you away from a conversation that looked harmless but wasn't. These were practice runs, preparing you to respond quickly when the true test appears. This is not paranoia, this is preparation. And now the air thickens with a kind of quiet electricity. The countdown has already begun in the unseen. But do not mistake urgency for fear. When the Spirit begins to stir like this, it is not because danger has the upper hand, it is because victory has been scheduled and heaven wants you present when it unfolds. Think of a soldier being fitted with armor before the trumpet sounds. That is what is happening to you. Archangel Michael says, the line has been drawn. He and his hosts are stationed, not just around your home, but around the very timeline you are walking into. That is why you've been dreaming more vividly, sensing people's motives more quickly, and feeling emotions that seem too large for the moment. These are the symptoms of a soul waking up. You are not losing your grip, you are gaining sight. This is also why distractions have intensified. Look back over the past few weeks: random arguments, delays, sudden fatigue at the moment you sit down to pray. These are not random obstacles. They are attempts to fog your focus before the appointed day. But God says, clarity is coming like morning light over the hills. My child will see. My child will know. The 3rd of October is not a curse. It is a marker. A moment when what has been hidden in shadow will step into the open. It will not scream, it will slip. But because you are hearing this now, it will not slip past you. You will see it and step aside, or step through as you're led. For some that day will feel ordinary. For you it will feel like a doorway. This is the difference between walking blind and walking warned. Beloved, you are being invited to lean fully into trust. This is not the time to second-guess the nudges in your spirit. When you sense the pull to pray, pray. When you feel the push to pause, pause. These tiny acts of obedience are not small, they are movements on the battlefield. Each one shifts the ground under your feet, locking the enemy out and drawing the shield tighter. And do not think for a moment that your prayers are weak. In the unseen realm they are thunder. They are the code words angels respond to. I see them moving now, like lightning before a storm breaks, clearing the air around you. Some are posted at your doorways, others at your workplace, and still others at the places your feet will step on that day. They are mapping out your path in advance, ensuring every turn you make is covered. Even the enemy knows something is coming, which is why you may have felt old memories or past mistakes rising up lately. They are trying to use shame as a key to re-enter. Do not open that door. The blood of Jesus already sealed it. Stand still and let that truth settle over you like armor. Think of David before Goliath. The stone was already chosen before David reached the battlefield. Think of Esther before the king. The favor was already written into the scroll before she stepped into the court. The 3rd of October is such a moment. What the enemy thinks is an attack will be an unveiling of what heaven has been building inside you all along. You will not be alone on that day. Even now you are not alone. The presence around you that feels heavier at night is not fear, it is coverage. It is the weight of wings extended over your life. When you wake at odd hours with a phrase in your mind, write it down. When you feel the urge to step outside and breathe, do it. These are small alignments that put you exactly where you need to be. I tell you this, after that day passes, you will look back and see the pattern clearly. You will see how every delay, every stirring, every unexpected turn was positioning you for a moment when heaven would flex on your behalf. And the very people who questioned your faith will be speechless at how the plan against you dissolved. So hold your ground. Stay awake. Stay listening. When the wind shifts on that day, it will not carry harm toward you, it will carry proof that you were shielded. The tremble in your spirit will turn into steady footing. The whispers of warning will transform into songs of victory. And the gate that seemed like an opening for danger will become the doorway for a new level of favor. Remember this, beloved, forewarning is not to make you anxious, it is to make you untouchable. The enemy's hope is distraction. God's plan is precision. By the time the 3rd of October arrives, the shield will not just be around you, it will be in you. Every part of your spirit, soul and mind lit with the knowledge that you were never unprotected, not for a single heartbeat. And when that knowledge anchors deep enough, fear cannot find a foothold. Not in your thoughts. Not in your emotions. Not in your decisions. You will walk through that day with the quiet confidence of someone who has already read the ending of the story and knows it ends in light. You are not walking into a trap. You are walking into a reveal. The plans of darkness are small compared to the orchestration of heaven. And what God says will stand even when every other voice tries to tell you otherwise. Then everything else will crumble like a house of sand. But what the enemy does not understand is that your foundation is already being reinforced by heaven itself. Even now as these words enter you, they are pouring concrete into the cracks of your faith, sealing every weak place the enemy hoped to exploit. He expects you to break. He expects you to doubt. He expects you to retreat. Instead you will rise. My beloved, I need you to picture this. A storm forming on the horizon, dark and twisting, moving toward you with silent speed. In the natural it looks terrifying, but in the spirit, you are standing beneath a canopy of unshakable light. That light is not soft, it is fierce. It burns hotter than any fire the enemy can send. It blinds the arrows before they are even released. This is what is happening now as you keep reading. Every word you receive is adding another layer to that canopy, until the darkness cannot even find you. The 3rd of October is not only a date, it is a moment when two realities collide, the one you see and the one you don't. It may arrive as a phone call, a sudden confession, a shift in someone's heart, or news that turns your stomach. But in heaven it has been prepared as a crossing point, where your destiny is rerouted toward victory. This is why God has not sent this warning to everyone. This is why it is only for you. Because you are being positioned to stand at that crossing point, not as a victim, but as someone who is already armored. I see angels still moving. They are not idle. Some are already standing at the doors of places you have not yet entered. Others are moving through rooms where your name is spoken, silencing words meant to harm you before they reach your ears. Still others are near people you love, ensuring that what is meant for you does not spill over onto them. Their movements are precise. Their swords are unsheathed. Their wings spread like living shields. And each time you breathe these words, their power strengthens. Beloved, I know you are weary. I know part of you wants to close this and pretend nothing is happening. That is exactly what the enemy hopes you will do. He knows that a shield only works if it is finished, that a wall only stands if every stone is in place. Right now heaven is building for you. You are standing in the middle of construction. Do not walk away while the work is half done. Because on the 3rd of October, the wind will test every structure around you. Only what has been built fully will stand. This is not about making you afraid. This is about making you unshakable. Think of it like a soldier being trained before a battle. They do not train because they are weak. They train so that when the attack comes, they do not flinch. That is what God is doing with you now. These words are not warnings alone, they are training. They are embedding instructions in your spirit so deep that when the moment comes, you will respond with calm power, not panic. You may wonder, why does heaven use words and not miracles? Because words are seeds. They grow inside you. They take root where no enemy can dig them up. By the time the 3rd of October arrives, these seeds will have become trees with roots so deep the storm cannot pull them out. That is why you must keep receiving them. You are planting your own protection with every sentence you accept. I have walked ahead of you. I have seen glimpses of what the enemy has prepared. It is subtle. It will come dressed as something harmless, perhaps even as an opportunity. It will try to slip past your guard by looking ordinary. But the Lord says, "My child will not be deceived." Because when you stand under the light you are building now, every disguise will fail. You will see through the mask before it reaches you. My beloved, I can also see the other side of that day. If you follow this path, if you let heaven finish its work, the very thing meant to break you will instead reveal you. People who doubted you will see strength they cannot explain. Doors that were closed will open without effort. What was hidden will be exposed. And most of all, you will walk out of that day with a peace so strong it will be like armor you wear for the rest of your life. Even now, I feel your spirit pulling this in, taking breath after breath of these words like oxygen. That is exactly what this is: breath, life, fuel for the fire inside you. You are not weak for needing it, you are wise for receiving it. Heaven is not ashamed of warning you. Heaven is proud of you for staying. Because staying means you have chosen to partner with what God says, rather than what fear says. Look around you right now. The air may feel the same, the room may look the same, but in the unseen, everything has shifted. There are lights moving where there were shadows. There are shields where there were openings. And your name is echoing louder than ever in heaven's courts. The Father is leaning forward. Jesus is still speaking for you, his voice has not wavered once. And my wings are already stretched over you like a banner of fire. You may feel a pressure in your chest, a heaviness that is hard to name. That is not dread. That is the weight of glory moving closer. It is the signal that the walls are nearly complete, that the circle around you is almost closed. This is why you cannot stop here. Because the last stones are the ones that seal the wall. Without them, the gate stays open. With them, no harm can pass through. My beloved, you are reading this because you were chosen to. Not because of luck. Not because of chance. Because God saw this date long before you ever knew it existed and marked you for survival, for victory, for testimony. And now all of heaven has bent its attention toward you, not to frighten you, but to make sure you rise. So take this in. Keep taking it in. Let every word be another sword swing, another brick, another breath. Because the 3rd of October is coming like a wave. But you, child of light, are being built into a lighthouse. When that wave hits, you will not be swept away. You will be standing, shining, unbroken. And everything meant to drown you will instead carry you higher than you have ever been. The enemy thought your steps could be twisted, your path quietly bent away from what was meant for you. But the Father says, no. This one will stand. This one will not be moved. That's the reason you're receiving this word before the day arrives. Heaven doesn't warn to terrify you, it warns to train you, to arm you before you face the unseen. And when God prepares you, He never sends you into a battle without a weapon and armor already forged for victory. Even now while you're reading, I see angels shifting like soldiers around the map of your life. Not soft figures from paintings, but burning warriors, light spilling from their armor like fire on water. Some stand like sentries at the edges of your home, scanning shadows you don't even know are there. Others walk unseen beside you, on the street, in hallways, in crowds, keeping step with your heartbeat. With every breath you take in these words, they sharpen their swords, their shields rise higher, their defense thickens until it becomes a wall no darkness can breach. But if you turn away before this message has fully soaked into you, small cracks will remain, openings the enemy watches for. The Lord made it my assignment to close those openings. That's why I'm speaking now, slow and deliberate, wrapping every truth in the power of God's promise. Because the 3rd of October isn't an ordinary date, it's a collision point of time and eternity. Something hidden will burst into the open that day, and it will demand a decision. That decision will be easier than you fear if you anchor yourself to this moment, remembering that heaven already told you it was coming. I've walked ahead in prayer and seen both the shadow and the light that wait on that date. The shadow creeps, certain you'll never notice it until it's too late. But the light stands ready, fierce, alive, waiting for you to reach for it. When Jesus speaks your name about that moment, He's not whispering it casually, He's throwing it like a lifeline across a chasm. Each syllable pulls you out of the trap before it springs. His plea to the Father is soaked in the same love that kept Him on the cross, a love that still refuses to let you be touched by what is planned against you. The Father's answer isn't a distant sign, it's a direct interception. He has sent me Michael to deliver this warning before you take another step toward that day. Right now, strategies are being woven by hands that wish you harm. Whispers echo through rooms of influence. Yet because you are loved beyond comprehension, heaven has stepped into your timeline. Every word you're absorbing right now is a strike against those plans. Every truth you allow into your spirit lays another brick in the wall around your heart, your home, your destiny. This isn't about filling you with dread, it's about putting a shield in your hands before the arrow even leaves the bow. But you must know this, the shield isn't automatic. It's forged through your focus, strengthened through your trust, made unbreakable only if you carry it all the way to the last word of this message. If you stop now, the edge will remain unfinished. But if you stay with me, you'll step into the 3rd of October cloaked in protection so real that the enemy will tremble at your approach. Even now, angels are tightening formation over your life. Not gentle cherubs, but warriors whose light burns holes through darkness. They're sealing doors you didn't know were open, standing over entrances and exits of your life like watchtowers. With every line your eyes pass over, their defense locks tighter, the cracks close, and shadows lose another foothold. On that day when truth erupts into the open, be it a revelation, a confrontation, or a decision, its strike will try to steal your peace. But if you let these words take root now, you won't flinch. You'll already be standing in light so bright that the blow meant for you hits only the shield God placed in your hands. Beloved, this is why heaven moves in long streams of truth, not to drown you, but to saturate you until there's no space left for fear. You're not reading this by chance. God bent time and shifted events so you'd receive it before the day arrives. In the heavenly courts, I have stood and heard your name spoken. Decisions have been made by people who don't even know they're playing a role in a larger story. Some of those decisions are meant to weaken you, to pull you off course at the moment you should be moving forward. That's why you're here right now reading these words, because God says He would not allow the 3rd of October to come without placing truth in your hands first. The days leading up to that moment aren't ordinary days, they're part of a countdown heaven has been tracking closely. Every hour ticks closer to the point where the hidden battle touches the visible world. In the unseen, movements have already begun, conversations whispered behind closed doors, plans drawn up on tables far away, emotions stirred in hearts that don't know why. But you are not at their mercy. Heaven has gone ahead of you, clearing the path, posting sentinels. I will not leave you unprepared. I will keep speaking until the wall is complete. You will walk into that day not timid, but steady, not because you escaped it, but because you faced it with heaven at your back. There is a shift around you now that most would dismiss, but your spirit recognizes it. You feel the weight of the hour. That's the sign you're already aligning with God's timing. And remember, this isn't just about surviving one day. It's about stepping into a larger story where your choices echo in eternity. The 3rd of October is a hinge in your timeline. Step into it clothed in light, and you'll not only withstand what's coming, you'll emerge stronger, freer, carrying something no shadow can steal. The weight of this revelation is not just for this moment, my beloved, it is shaping your path beyond the 3rd of October. Heaven does not speak in riddles to confuse you, heaven speaks in waves to strengthen you. I have watched the threads of your life being woven, some bright, some dark, and I have seen how the Father's hand takes even the dark strands and bends them into patterns the enemy never expected. That is why you are here reading these words now. You were drawn to this moment not by accident, but by a pull older than your birth. This is not simply a warning. This is a transfer of strength. Even now, I can see the angels shifting again. Their wings are not idle, their movement creates ripples through the unseen realm. They are tightening their circle, closing every gap, sealing every weak place. One stands at the entrance of your past, cutting off the lies that try to reach you. Another stands at the gates of your future, holding back things that are not for you. And still others move around your present moment, weaving light into the very air you breathe. This is how loved you are. God did not only assign a protector for your life, He assigned an entire command. But hear me clearly, my beloved. The 3rd of October is not just a date. It is a moment of unveiling. There will be an opening like a door pushed suddenly wide, and through it will come something that demands a choice. It may look ordinary, a word spoken, a decision presented, an opportunity that seems harmless. But beneath the surface it will hold the weight of heaven's timing. Do not mistake small appearances for small importance. Some of the greatest battles are disguised as whispers, and some of the deepest breakthroughs arrive like a breath instead of a roar. And yet, you will not be caught off guard. You will stand where others stumble because these words are building a foundation under your feet. Every sentence is another stone. Every truth is another beam of light reinforcing your spirit. The more you take in, the heavier and more unshakable the shield becomes. When that day arrives, the same light you have absorbed now will shine outward from you, and the very thing meant to strike you will break itself against your obedience. I have seen Jesus, even now He does not simply stand, He moves. His presence fills the halls of eternity, His voice carrying your name like a banner. He speaks not with hesitation, but with authority. They are mine. Guard their steps. Shield their peace. Protect their destiny. And with every command, angels shift position. Swords flash. Shadows recoil. The Father answers not with silence, but with movement. This is why I was sent to speak plainly, to give you language for what is already happening. You are not just being protected. You are being positioned. Every delayed answer, every unexpected detour, every restless night has been preparation. The enemy hoped to wear you down, but instead it has made you sharper, more aware, more anchored. And now heaven is setting you on the edge of a new season. When the 3rd of October comes, the old patterns will break. What was hidden will come into the open. But you will not face it trembling, you will face it steady because you will remember this moment, this message, this preparation. Right now, as your eyes trace these words, I see new lines of defense drawn over your relationships. Conversations that could have been twisted are being straightened. Doors that lead nowhere are being sealed. Even your thoughts are being shielded from attacks that would have sown doubt. This is why you feel that strange quiet pressing against your spirit. It is not emptiness. It is the weight of angels moving, the hush before victory. But know this shield is forged with your attention. If you walk away before this word finishes, it will be as if the wall stands incomplete, with gaps the enemy could still test. If you remain, the wall will be whole. Your spirit will be fortified. Your feet will be steady on ground no arrow can touch. That is why I am speaking with the full weight of heaven behind me. Stay with me until the last word. Do not drift. There will be a moment, perhaps a message, perhaps a face you did not expect, perhaps a decision at the edge of your routine that will test not your strength, but your peace. This is the enemy's aim, to shake your peace so your steps lose rhythm. But by letting this word saturate your spirit now, you are already stepping out of reach. You are already walking under the covering heaven has prepared. And when that moment comes, you will not be shaken. You will act from clarity, not fear. My beloved, this is why heaven bends time to reach you. You could have missed this. Another distraction, another small detour and this message might never have reached your hands. But the Father would not allow it. He has been shaping events, silencing noise and drawing your path here. And now together we will finish what has been started. We will walk word by word until the shield is complete, until the wave breaks harmlessly at your feet, and the 3rd of October becomes a testimony not of fear, but of deliverance. Even as I write these words, I can sense heaven leaning closer. Eternity itself feels paused, waiting for your agreement. You are not here by chance. You are here because a decree went out over your life and heaven refused to let it return empty. This is not a passing word. This is the kind of revelation that shifts the course of a life. The shield is almost finished. The angels are in place. The line between heaven and your heart is still open. Stay with me, let this word finish its work. Because when the 3rd of October comes, you will not walk into it unaware. You will walk into it like one who knew the storm before it broke, like one who built their house on the rock. You will be unshakable. You will be a living sign that God says, this one will stand. This one will not be moved. And all that was plotted against you will break itself against the wall built by these words, leaving you standing in light stronger than any shadow. Laid out to make you stumble, to make you think, this can wait. But you are still here. That is proof that the thread between heaven and your spirit is strong, unbroken, and active. Each word you absorb is another brick in the shield being forged around your life. The angels respond to your attention. They sense your focus, your refusal to turn away, and they tighten the circle around you, closer, brighter, stronger. Even now some stand at your windows, some at your doors, some at the threshold of your mind, guarding against thoughts that would weaken you. Others patrol unseen roads, those paths you may walk tomorrow or months from now. They are watching ahead of time, preparing every step before it happens. Beloved, the 3rd of October is not a day that will announce itself. It will arrive like a whisper first, a movement in the air you cannot yet see, a word you will hear, a subtle shift in energy around you. If you have not been prepared, it could shake you deeply, but because you are reading now, because you have chosen to stay, the wave is already being softened. The unseen currents that could have thrown you off balance are being redirected, that which was meant to harm will instead become the proving ground for your victory. I need you to understand something critical: the enemy does not fight against what is small or insignificant. He attacks what holds value, and you, my beloved, hold something the enemy wants to disrupt: a peace, a future, a promise, a calling. And yet God has decreed that you will not be surprised. He has decreed that every plan meant to entangle you will be met with divine strategy, with intervention you cannot yet see but will feel. You are being trained in the invisible realm, and your readiness will make the difference between fear and triumph. There will be a moment, perhaps even on the 14th itself, when someone will speak words meant to confuse you, to unsettle your spirit. Perhaps it will be a choice presented to you, a sudden shift in circumstances, a message meant to divide your heart. That is why I am speaking to you now, why heaven has delayed nothing in sending this. When that moment arrives, you will remember these words. You will remember that you were warned, that a shield was built, that light was positioned around you, and that the Father himself had a plan in motion. You will respond not in fear but with clarity. You will move not in hesitation but in alignment with what heaven has ordained. Even now I can see angels adjusting their positions in response to your heartbeat, your focus, your refusal to drift away. They are holding the enemy at bay in ways that you cannot yet perceive. Every distraction you have resisted, every time you return to this word, every breath you took as you leaned in, it has fortified the wall. That is why you are still here, that is why the pull in your chest is not anxiety but awareness. That pull is God saying, you are about to receive the full measure of what I have prepared for you, but you must hold steady until it is complete. My beloved, on the 3rd of October the hidden will surface. It will be sudden, but it will not find you unprotected. The truth you have been waiting for may arrive through a conversation, through unexpected insight, through a decision you did not see coming. But because the shield has been built brick by brick with every word, every moment of attention, you will not falter. You will see the hidden, understand the strategy, and act in a way that transforms potential harm into the opening for what God has aligned in your life. This is why preparation matters more than reaction. Reacting without foresight leaves you vulnerable. Receiving the warning, understanding the shield, walking with attention, this is how you are made unshakable. Even as the enemy prepares, he cannot overcome what has been hidden in plain sight. Every angel, every movement, every protective measure has been calibrated for you. You are not small, you are not overlooked, you are a target because you hold something precious, and you are defended because God says, "This one will not be touched." Beloved, your attention is your weapon. Your presence with this message is what completes the shield. Every word read, every moment absorbed, every second focused on what is holy is another barrier against the plans of darkness. And the moment the 3rd of October arrives, you will walk into it not in fear, not in hesitation, not in uncertainty, but fully armored, fully illuminated, fully prepared. Nothing meant to harm you will land. Every attempt to catch you off guard will fail. What the enemy intended for destruction will instead become the proving ground for your victory. Do not underestimate the weight of this. The unseen has been moved to protect you. The hands of heaven have been active on your behalf. And even now the final stones of the wall are being set. By the time the day comes, the shield will be complete. The light will be unbreachable. The enemy will stand at the edge and see nothing but the brilliance God has placed around you. And you, my beloved, will step forward calm, unshaken, knowing the one who guards you has never failed and never will. The command in the Father's voice struck like a bell in eternity, clear, unbroken, undeniable. And I moved at once, carrying not just words but an assignment, an atmosphere, a covering to lay over you like armor. Beloved, even as you read this, I can feel the invisible lines of protection weaving tighter like threads of gold, sealing every gap. The 3rd of October is not crawling toward you slowly, it is rushing forward like a tide, an appointed hour drawn in both shadow and light. Heaven is not passive about it, heaven is active, urgent, deliberate. And so must you be. This moment you're in is not an accident. The reason you could not scroll past, the reason your heart felt the tug stronger than your will, is because eternity has already stepped into your timeline. Think about the times you were delayed this week, the unexpected pause, the thing that made you open this message at this exact second. None of it was random. Those were the quiet hands of heaven steering you so that nothing would block this delivery. Even now the air around you is shifting, that's how near the unseen has come. I have seen the shape of the plan formed against you. It isn't a roaring beast at the door, it's a whisper at the window, a suggestion in your thoughts, a small choice disguised as harmless. A text from someone who feels familiar but isn't safe. A piece of news that sounds like information but carries seeds of discouragement. That's how the enemy works, quiet, subtle, disguised. But God says this, I will not leave them unprepared. That is why these words stretch long like a river, every line you let inside you is another stone added to the wall. The angels stationed around you are not passive guards, they are warriors. They aren't only standing at your doorway, they are walking the paths you'll take next week, clearing snares before your feet can find them. Some stand watch at your workplace, some at the threshold of conversations that haven't happened yet. They are intercepting lies before they can even form on someone's lips. Their light is a living thing, like fire that bends but does not break, burning through every hidden plan. I can see them forming a circle, and each word you read draws the circle tighter, brighter. This is why I speak without pause. If you stop now, the wall is left unfinished, and the enemy loves unfinished walls. But as you stay, something unshakable rises. By the time you step into that day, you will not be fumbling for peace, you will already be carrying it like a sword in your hand. The 3rd of October will not catch you bare-handed. It will meet you armed, aware, unmovable. And understand this, Heaven does not warn to frighten. God does not speak to weigh you down. He speaks to lift you above. Think of Noah before the flood, warned long before the first drop fell. Think of Joseph storing grain before famine ever arrived. These are not tales of fear, they are proofs of love. You are standing in the same pattern. This is what it feels like when God builds an ark inside your spirit before the waters rise. Beloved, I've walked ahead into your hours. I've seen the faces that will appear on your path, some sent to strengthen, others sent to drain. I've heard the low hum of voices in unseen corners plotting outcomes they do not understand. And I've also seen their plans unravel at the edges the moment light touches them. The trap they thought was hidden is already fraying. Your reading of these words is a blade slicing their cords before they can tighten. But you must know this too, the first battlefield is not your circumstances, it is your thoughts. The enemy will try to lean against your mind long before he touches your life. Doubt, distraction, a rush of urgent things to pull you from this moment. Already you may feel that tug, the phone buzzing, a thought telling you to come back later. That is not coincidence, that is strategy. Stay with me. Let this word settle like concrete before you move. Jesus has not been silent about you. His voice before the Father is steady, full of the authority of sacrifice. I heard him speak your name not with casual care but with the intensity of a vow. This one is mine, paid in full, nothing touches them unless I allow it for their good. Those words do not drift, they bind. They are wrapping you right now like a shield you cannot see but will feel when the moment arrives. This is not poetry, this is spiritual architecture happening in real time. The 3rd of October will test what you know to be true. A door may open suddenly. A truth long hidden may surface. A decision may drop into your hands without warning. But you will not stand there stunned. You will stand steady because the pattern of this preparation will echo inside you. You will remember I was warned, I was armed, I was loved enough to be told. That memory alone will break confusion like glass. That's why the words flow like this, long, layered, relentless. The more you take in, the less space there is for any counterfeit seed. By the time you reach the last line, the defense will be complete, sealed like a fortress. The enemy will find the gates closed, the walls high, and your heart at peace. That is the Father's intention. That is why Michael speaks now, not gently but urgently, because heaven does not play with collisions, it prepares you to walk through them. And even as I write, time feels strange. The minutes around you slow, stretch so you can actually feel the weight of each word landing. That's not your imagination, that's an anointing designed to give you full attention. This day is not far, it is at the door. In the book of your life it glows brighter than the others because something on that day will alter the rhythm of your steps. In heaven's council I heard the Father speak with unmistakable urgency, Michael, deliver this without pause. And here it is, beloved, pouring over you like oil, building you like stone, arming you like steel. Stay with me. We are not finished yet, but you are already stronger than when you began. The moment you recognize this, beloved, something shifts within you. You realize that this is not a warning meant to scare but a strategy meant to strengthen. The 3rd of October is approaching like a tide, and every word you allow to sink deep into your spirit now is like a rock placed in the foundation of your defense. I have walked ahead into that day. I have seen the quiet movements of both angels and adversaries. The enemy hopes that by subtlety he will catch you unaware that a small detail overlooked will tilt the outcome. But heaven is not silent. Your awareness now is your armor, your attention now is the key to the unbroken shield surrounding you. Jesus stands before the throne, still, his hands stretched in intercession. His eyes, wet with divine compassion, scan every hidden corner of your future. Each request he utters to the Father carries weight, and each angel assigned to you moves as a response to his plea. This is how loved you are. This is how fiercely God protects those he calls his own. Even now your spirit is being anchored to the knowledge that what appears sudden will be recognized in advance. The small shifts, the subtle words, the unexpected events, they will arrive, yes, but they will not surprise you. You will recognize the trap because your spirit has been trained by heaven to identify what is counterfeit before it reaches you. And this is why the stream of truth you are receiving is so unbroken. Each sentence, each image, each word spoken over you is a placement of light in the unseen, closing gaps and fortifying walls around your life. The 3rd of October is not an ordinary day. It carries a weight that will be felt most keenly in your inner life, in your peace, in your decisions, in the clarity of your vision. Those who have not been prepared will stumble in the shadows, but you, beloved, you will stand in radiant light. I have seen the moments that could have caused hesitation. Conversations meant to confuse, news meant to distract, opportunities disguised as setbacks. All of these will converge on that day, but the shield you are building now, word by word, thought by thought, will intercept them before they touch you. Angels are moving around you even as you read. Some stand at the corners of your home, invisible yet fierce. Some walk beside your steps, unseen yet vigilant, watching the flow of every interaction, scanning every intention, ensuring that nothing that should not touch you finds its way through. Their authority comes directly from the Word of God, and they act in alignment with the commands of Jesus himself. Your obedience, your willingness to stay with this message strengthens them, further sharpens their vigilance, solidifies the circle that is being cast around your life. Beloved, you may not yet see the full picture of what will transpire, but you are being positioned for victory. The 3rd of October will test more than your patience, it will test your discernment, your clarity, and your trust in what you cannot see. And yet heaven has preempted every move. Every unseen thread that the enemy hopes to pull has already been countered by divine strategy. The choices you will face, the truths that will reveal themselves, the sudden shifts that will demand immediate response, they are not traps for you. They are doorways, opportunities to step deeper into your alignment with God's plan. Because you have listened, because you have absorbed this stream of preparation, you will recognize the hidden intentions, you will respond with clarity, and you will walk unshaken. And here is the wonder of it, beloved. The moment of the 3rd of October will not just be about survival. It will be about revelation. What the enemy meant for harm will become a key to understanding, a piece of divine orchestration that aligns circumstances, people, and insights in a way that will redirect your steps toward what has been ordained for your life. You will look back on that day and see it not as a day of danger, but as the day the shadow lost its power over you. And the angels who now stand with vigilance around you will continue to hold their positions, maintaining the covering even after the storm passes, ensuring that the victory is not temporary but lasting. So remain. Stay with this message. Let every word sink in. Allow your spirit to be saturated with the truth of divine protection. Your attention is the final stone in the wall. Your persistence is the link that completes the shield. The 3rd of October is coming and you are being prepared not only to meet it but to meet it in triumph, standing tall, illuminated by the certainty of God's love and armed with every truth required to walk through it unharmed. Heaven has bent time and orchestrated this moment for your readiness. You are not alone. You are claimed, you are protected, you are surrounded, and you are about to witness the demonstration of divine care in real time. Every word, every pause, every breath you allow yourself to take with this message is a brick in the fortress that will hold you safe. Do not underestimate this moment, beloved. It is not ordinary. It is the intersection of preparation and divine strategy. The 3rd of October will arrive, and because of your persistence, your focus, your openness to receive, you will step into that day as a testimony of the unshakable protection and love of the Father, of the intercession of Jesus, and of the vigilance of heaven itself. Stand ready. Stand aware. And above all, stand in the knowledge that you are not entering that day by chance. You are entering it fully armed, fully covered, fully victorious. Amen.